And I believe it with all my heart. You know, when I saw the PC and the PC Plus stuff that they're doing today along and how it ties in with this, it's going to be incredible. Because here's one of the things you're going to have to think about in the days ahead, and this is good. You know, when it comes to the clock starts on the business launch bonus the day someone enrolls as a brand partner. So you're going to have to be really good with your words so that people don't come back 6 months later and go, hey, how come you didn't tell me about that 9-week bonus thing when you helped enroll me as a brand partner and I wasn't ready yet? Because I didn't have enough layers of conviction to start talking to people and build a business. See, so your communication is going to have to change. You're going to have to let people know, you know, right up front, you know, if they're interested in LifeWave as a business, then here's what that entails and here's what happens when you become a brand partner. And oh, by the way, there is a business launch bonus that begins the day you enroll, and it's lucrative, and I'm going to show you what that is, and it lasts for 9 weeks. So you just need to know that up front, because I'm ready to help you. I'm ready to help you earn these business launch bonuses right now. So just know that I've told you this, and you know what's at stake here. And someone might say, well, that's okay. I'm not really concerned about those. You know, I'll share the product. You know, I'll share the business when I'm ready. And they can't come back to you 90 days later, or 6 months later, or 8 months later and say, hey, you didn't tell me about this bonus thing. What's up with that? You know, I missed out on all that, and they're mad at you. So I hope you kind of can understand how you're going to have to get more skilled at how you talk to people the right way so that they know what all of their options are. It's important for people to know, you know, what their options are. All right. So let's get into a couple of nuts and bolts about this. I want to show you how easy it's going to be. There's going to be slides, and I have no doubt in my mind you're going to have all the slides. A brand new person could take this today, if they've been in the business one day, and utilize it. This is just me scribbling some stuff up the other day. So it's good. The slides are going to get better and better. But I believe it's going to be easier than ever for any one of us, you know, a new person, to take some of the essential compensation plan things that people need to know and share with them right off the bat, taking them from a retail customer, you know, or preferred customer into being a brand partner and earning product introduction bonuses, and then learning how they can earn business launch bonuses. And so here it is. Let's take you, just like Steve was saying earlier, and let's just keep it simple for conversation's sake, because there's different ways that you can do the math. But let's just talk about the advanced level, an advanced order. And when someone places an advanced order, because we have to keep things simple right now, I can't show you five different examples. We're going to look at one example, and then you can start playing with your own math. But we're going to use advanced. You know, someone comes in at $535 plus tax and shipping, and their PV is $300. Okay, so here's what happens. Let's say all this happens in their first week, because the first 72 hours for a new person, that's what's crucial. That first 72 hours, and from 72 hours through the first week is essential, and then through the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and a month, that's essential. And so I want to talk about the first week. So let's imagine you get someone off to a fast start, and this all happens in the first week. So they're able to get 2 people, one on the right, one on the left, that make the same decision, and they come in at the advanced level as well. So that's 900 PV, which is going to equate to the 900 of QDV, which is that qualifying downline volume. Well, you've already earned, as a new brand partner, $75 in PIB on one side, $75 in a product introduction bonus on the other side, and now you've earned the first business launch bonus. You're going to show them that, hey, I've helped you earn $175 just right off the bat, you know, in your first 24 hours or in your first 48 hours. You got to help people do the math. You got to help a new person count the money, because people get excited when they've earned $175 in their first 24 hours. They got a great testimony. They've got a great excitement, things like that. Well, what if you added 2 more? So what if we found 4 people, and you put 2 on your right and 2 on your left? Yeah, and they came in at the advanced level. Well, in that situation, you can see the math right there. You would have $350 plus you get $300. You have $300 in earnings from your product introduction bonuses, and you get an extra $50 because now you've got enough QDV that qualifies you for a 2-star manager. So just in 48 hours or 72 hours or the first 4 days, whatever that might be, we've already helped you get 2 on the right, 2 on the left at the advanced level. We've helped put you've earned $300 in product introduction bonuses. You've earned an extra $50 of a business launch bonus because you've hit the 2nd rank in the company and you're off to the races. Now, if nothing even changed, I'm going to go back. Let's go back to here. If nothing changed, if they didn't do anything here, that volume right there, because it happened in the first week, would carry on for 3 more weeks. And so they would earn $25 extra for 3 more weeks. So that's $250 total. If they didn't do anything else, and that's all they did for a month, they earned $250 in their first month. That's pretty good math. Okay, so we go to 2-star manager, and they've done all this. And so let's say this is not going to happen because they're going to be excited. But what if nothing else happened? And their dog died and they got sad and didn't do anything for the rest of the month. If they did nothing else for the rest of the month, what they're going to earn here is $500, not just $350, because they're going to earn the extra $50 bonus for 3 more weeks because this volume would carry over in a 31-day rolling cycle for 3 more weeks. That's $500 if they did nothing else. But what if we got them in action and they enrolled their first 2 and that person got the 1-star manager? Well, now you're going to earn an extra $25 in the matching bonus category. So now you're at $375 instead of $350. So you know where it takes you now if you did nothing else? And if that person did nothing else, if no one did anything else, but this is what happened in the first week, now you're going to earn $500 in your first month if you did nothing else. And we're not promoting doing nothing else, but I'm telling you this is just the math for a week. And the bonuses that keep carrying over. Okay, so let's say we go to the next level, and someone on your other side puts 2 people in. They put someone in on the right, put someone in on their left. Now you're looking at $400 in profit because you've got another $25 matching bonus right there. So you have $400, and if you just stopped after that, this is your first week of business, and you didn't do anything for the next 3 weeks, even for that next 3 weeks of carryover, now you're gonna be at $700. Now, I hope I'm not messing this up. I'm going off some memory tonight. I think this other one was $600 back here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this was $600. And so this last one, this takes you to $700 right here if you did nothing else. Okay, so now let's go to this. Because you hit 3-star manager, and how do you hit 3-star manager? Well, you've got enough qualifying volume. I believe it's 1,200 QDV. Well, you've surpassed that. So you've actually got $1,500 of QDV to your credit or more, 1,200 or more. So you qualified for that. So now you're earning a binary bonus. And so there's 5% there. 5% of what? 5% of the pay leg, which would be 5% of that QDV, which is $1,200. That's an extra $60. And so there's 460. So 460 now, being right here, takes you to $760 a month if you did nothing else after the first week. So could anyone get excited about that if they're brand new? Man, that's just me. Like, I just scribbled this stuff up this week. I can't wait till we get even more organized with it. It actually can show the quadrants. And you show the 4 quadrants when you train of the 31-day rolling cycle and how things go into each quadrant, and then how week 1 washes, and then week 5 becomes the new, week 4, and so on and so forth. It's going to be very easy to help people understand how to earn money. And so where I want to take you now is this. When you have shown someone, hey, here's how I can actually help you put cash in your pocket right now. Here's how I can help you earn an extra $350 right now. Here's how I can help you earn an extra $760 in your first week in the business. If you're really excited about building this business, we've got to establish what your why is. That's going to be really important. So if we get to someone's why, I'm going to skip this slide. What you have to understand is this. The why is going to produce this. Someone's why is going to produce a definitive purpose in life. You've got to help people understand that you must have a definitive purpose in life, or you're just going to drift through life for the rest of your life, because you become a 2%er. And on our team, hopefully throughout all of LifeWave, what we're trying to do is take that percentage of the 2%ers and actually turn 2%ers, the 2% into 10%, into 20%, into 50%, into 98%, because really we want to flip the script on, who's really, who can really get after it in life and have a definitive plan of action. And we hope that 98% of people that get in LifeWave have a definitive plan of action, not 2%. So the thing is, you got to have a definitive purpose, because a definitive purpose will produce a definitive plan of action. And if you have a definitive plan of action, then what you're going to have is a daily method of operation, because you're going to do the things necessary to fulfill your plan of action. And then you're going to produce specific results. But here's the thing. If you don't have a definitive purpose, you will not have a definitive plan of action. Then you will not have a daily method of operation, because you're just going to have a hobby on your hands. And you may not produce the results that you want to see. So in other words, if you have no specific results, we're going now, go from the back end. If you have no specific results, it's because you have no daily method of operation. If you have no daily method of operation, you probably didn't have a plan of action. And if you didn't have a plan of action, it's probably because you really don't have a definitive purpose. So you got to help people get to their pain point and figure out what their why is, and figure out what their definitive purpose in life is. Because if they have to establish a purpose and reason. Because if they establish a purpose and reason, then they'll start making that list. And after they make the list, they're going to fill out the goal sheet and tell you what their target is. What do you really want here? How much do you really want to earn? When Brittany Francis got involved, they're elite senior presidential directors now, Rick and Brittany Francis. And when Rick and Brittany Francis got involved, just in February a year ago, here was her definitive purpose. My husband owns 2 car dealerships. I want him home with my family. I want him in ministry with me, and it's going to take $50,000 a month. Can you help me get that? And we go, well, you're the variable. Yeah, we can help you because it's been done before, but you're the variable. So if you want it, then here's what's going to happen. She had a why, and she had all of these things. She established her purpose and reason. She made a list. She had her goal, and now it was about action. And so we had a connection point. Diane and I knew what she wanted, how much she wanted, and what the time frame was for her to accomplish that. And here they are today. So you've got to get to that with that person so you can get in their life and help them put those first 2 people in. Help them put those first 4 people in. Do the math. Count the money. Help them understand what those how the bonuses are really paying. Because now you can quantify it. Here, if you do, you get this. If you do this, you get this. Oh, and if you put this, if we add 2 more, you're going to earn this. Oh, and by the way, it's going to keep rolling over the next 3 weeks, and it's just super simple math. And you're going to be able to teach this. You're going to be able to lead people through this, and you're going to be able to help your entire team grow as a result, so that hopefully, your income grows in LifeWay the way you want to see it. Okay, so establish a daily method of operation. It's the last thing I'm going to talk to you about. The key here is this. People always want to know what the system is. The system is real simple. You're looking at it. The system is how many people will you talk to today? How many people will you follow up with today? And how many people will you invite to a Zoom this week? That's the system. So what you have to do is you have to decide how many people you're going to talk to today, how many customers you're going to have through the week, set your goals, how many one-on-ones, how many three-way phone calls, how many Zooms, how many new brand partners you want to have. And you should have a daily task sheet to where you actually map that out and you know exactly what your game plan is for going into each day. And if you do that, I can't promise you money, but I can promise you that system works. And if you put the work in, you get to choose as the variable what you want to, because you're the variable. You get to choose what you want to earn. Because the compensation doesn't care who you are, or what your name is, or where you came from. The compensation plan only cares about what it sees, and that's what's being inputted in the computer based on what you've done and the effort you've put forth and the lives that you change in the process. So let's get excited about these business launch bonuses. It's going to cause this company to grow enormously if you take advantage of it in the right way. God bless you guys.